Our story started on a sailboat with nothing but a dream and each other. Then we traded the ocean for 8 acres of jungle and built an off-grid life completely from scratch. Life had other plans though. A baby, a health scare, and suddenly everything changed. Now we find ourselves here, tearing apart a Florida home and building something we're truly proud of. What's up guys, welcome back. We are continuing with our mudroom. Last week, Matt made the most beautiful false door fronts for our drawers, but now we have the big task of doing the big cabinet doors. These are a little bit different, something we've never done before because they're gonna have 3 rails instead of just 2. So we're going a little fancier. I think we can pull it off, and then we just gotta pretty much paint.
Yeah, bigger doors, for me, my fear is bigger doors with bigger mistakes. The ones that went on the drawers were smaller, so I feel like you could finagle that a little bit easier. These are big, so if it's out a 1/4 inch or out even an 1/8 with the wall not being perfectly square, things are gonna teeter on me, and you know, we never align on what we're gonna be OCD about, so we get the double OCD. So let's hope that this goes smoothly. I think it will. I'm learning how to trust my tape measure, and I think it's been working so far. First step I have to do is rip down my poplar boards. I have one of my feather boards attached here to keep everything nice and straight. I have my hood adjusted, so this should go pretty smoothly and pretty precisely.
I'm cutting it down to 2 inches.
Yep.
All right, Matt did a great job on routering. Everything went successful, right?
Yeah.
What's that face?
But now I'm mad.
Uh-oh, our electric lawnmower's making noise. If you wonder what that noise is in the background, it's the electric lawnmower. Anyways, we're mad because we were going to cut out the middle 1/4 inch plywood to go in the middle of the doors, and I saw it in the glare of the sun and it had like bubbles through it. It's just bad plywood. We didn't notice it obviously when we bought it, and now here we could just move forward with it, but I think we would highly regret it once we paint it. It's just gonna look bad.
We definitely wouldn't highly regret it, but we regret it a little bit, and that's not what we're doing here at Cabinetry GBU. So we have to wait till the baby gets up. She's on a nap, so we both can't leave at the moment, ATM. And so we're gonna jump to another quick project, one I'm not really looking forward to because it's gonna not be easy for me, I don't think, but
that's besides the point. This is the moment that's gonna set our house and our cabinetry to luxury. What makes luxury homes on custom cabinetry is the details. That's molding, that's casing, that's all the flashy little details that you don't think of when you go to make it. If we just left the cabinet like it is, it's just gonna be like, all right, that's cool, whatever. But once we add on all this goody gumdrop details, you guys are gonna be blown right out of the seats of your couches.
strap yourself down.
Between the renovation, the baby, and trying to keep our lives together, cooking has been the last thing on our minds. We keep telling ourselves to meal prep, but we just keep eating out again and again, which adds up really fast. That's why Factor has been such a game changer for us right now. These are chef-crafted, dietitian-approved, ready-to-eat meals delivered straight to your door. No planning, no prep, no cleanup, just real food in minutes. Meals are fresh, never frozen. We have been loving the caramelized onion short ribs, the teriyaki salmon, And honestly, they're probably the best meals we've had since this renovation started. 97% of people say Factor helps them live a better life, and I completely get why. When life is this chaotic, one less thing to stress about is everything. Head to factor75.com or click the link below. Use our code GoodBadUglyFB50 to get 50% off your first Factor box, plus free breakfast for a year. That's code GoodBadUglyFB50 on factor75.com.
Okay, boys, so I got my window cleaned up, and now what I have to do here is I have to cut my material. I have PVC material for the inside of the window stool because I have to square that up a little bit. This window is a touch out of square. And then I have to cut my framing around there. And then I got to cut some, what's that called? Super Regal board, something like that. No, it's the top, I don't know. You guys know what it's called. It's like the floor. It's like the floor molding. Crown molding? Crown molding. That's what it's called. So I got to cut all that too. I've been struggling with my cuts. So I went today first thing in the morning and I got myself a big boy 80 toother. And that is making cuts much cleaner. I've been putting stuff together out of my scraps to try to make it work. And I think it is going to work. So I have to put all of my pieces ready, pre-cut all that so that me and Kristen can be in super manufacturing mode, super assembly mode when we get back. She said, when I get done babysitting this baby, I want an IKEA special of just snapping everything together. So I got to get busy. I got my windowsill covers good to go here. They are plastic, and there is a very small texture on here that Kristen said she didn't love. So I think what I'll be able to do is just hit that with some sandpaper real quick, make it nice and smooth. You got to do that for your gal. Got to do that for your gal pals out there. So there it is, side by side. You can see the difference. All right, so now my window, I think it's called a stool or a sill. I don't even exactly know what it's called, but that's looking nice. Everything is square on that. So now I'm ready to cut my picture frame. Kristen wanted a picture frame around this window. We went back and forth about which side goes toward the window, the fat side or the skinny side. I didn't really get clarification on that. Kristen wanted a fat side on the window and then tapering down to the wall. But I put the skinny side on the window and then it kind of tapers up. For some reason on a picture frame, that's just what they look like to me. But I could be wrong. Either way, I did it wrong and I got scolded. But we are ready to start cutting these now. This should be relatively simple because the window is very square. And it should just be 45-degree miters and everything should go great. Okay, so my 90s are going together very well. You can see a teensy weensy little bit of daylight in between there, but it's square on this side, it's square on the top side. I love it. I think they're ready to go in. Alright, so my shiplap is in there. My frame is all in there. That looks really good. I'm super happy with that. Now I have to do my crown molding, which is up here, but I want to dry fit my doors on first. I added some blocking up here for the crown molding to nail to because Kristen did want to go up pretty high. But first I'm going to put my door on there just to be exactly sure where it's going to fall before I start nailing it down. So I want to do the crown molding, but I got to put together my doors first. We're going to assemble it, but don't worry, we're going to make it fast. Okay, so our big rips are ripped, and now it's time to get on over to our miter saw and cut them to length. Alright, so this is me playing with my perfect Craig 90 and my tape measure. What I'm doing here is I'm making sure that my front edge is perfectly square so that when I chop out these sections of wood, they're perfectly square on both sides. That's a big deal. And as I was sitting here working with all these tools, surrounded by all of this work, this meticulous work that I have to do, which can be a little bit daunting and scary, I was being thankful for these tools that Kristen has got for me. You know, I'm really thankful that I have a hot wife that tries to help me out in life and tries to make me better and better. Like many of us, I thought I was born perfect for many years. I thought I needed no improvements and that I was just rocking it. But Kristen has come along and showed me the error of my ways, and she's made me so much better. As I'm putting these tools together and putting these styles together, you know, it may seem kind of like a bummer, like I'm stuck with all this honeydew work, but 10-year-old Maddie's kind of freaking out. You know, when I was a kid, I never even dreamed about having a wife or a house. So having cabinets to build for my perfect lady, it's actually a dream come true. A dream that I could have never even dreamed in a life prior to this. And another factor of that is you guys that are watching. Super thankful that you guys are with me on this journey, and some of you guys are hyped. Some of you guys do just come back on Facebook to tell me how much I suck now that I don't sail anymore, but that's just a few guys. Most of you are still rocking with us, and I'm thankful for that, because without the dogs and the dog pound, you know, there'd be no point to making these videos, and I'd just be doing this all alone in my garage, crying, just waiting for it to be over. But I'd still be thankful, and I'd still have a hot wife, so couldn't really be too mad about it.
All right, guys, I'm super excited. Matt just assembled the doors. So now we have the cabinet doors built and the drawer fronts. So I know we should move to the next part of the project, but we're too excited. We want to dry fit the doors. One, it'll help us with our trim, our crown molding at the top, because we've gone back and forth on that. We'll get into that when we go in the room. And also, then we get to see, did our measurements come out right? Is our spacing good? If you've never built a cabinet before, spacing is really important between the doors, between the wall, and all of that has to be just right if you want to look professional.
It's pretty absurd, really. I used to, you know, bag on cabinet makers, but it's no joke. You guys are earning my respect with the daily.
So Matt already temporarily put the drawer fronts on. They're just temporary on because obviously we're gonna have to paint them before we put them on. And they look pretty good, so let's go look. Bro, that's looking crispy.
Crispy. That's one crispy critter right there, boy. Okay, so doors fit perfect. That gap is perfect. I love that. This is the base of our frame, and you guys are probably saying, Matt, why is it upside down? That looks crazy. Why is there giant gaps and hangovers? That's because Kristen wanted the Fat Daddy there, so we are overlapping this to make it a little bit more of a thicker, more of a regal frame. I think I have a better piece here.
I really like how you love saying regal.
It's very regal, okay? It's like a Buick Regal. It's every... Listen, at my heart, I'm a hood boy. So the Buick Regal was a dream car of mine. Anyway, we're labeling, or we're stacking this up, and I think that that looks much better. So now we're just gonna have to...
Yeah, the reasoning was we wanted the thick side to meet with the cabinet door on top and be flush. If it was the thin side on top, then the cabinet door would be like hanging over up there, point to where.
Yeah, so now the finished principle, the crown is going to be the crown.
In the spacing between the cabinet door, it's flush.
Everything looks a lot better.
Does it fit?
Does it fit? Have some faith.
Nice.
Okay, so I've been making a lot of cuts with my miter saw here, this old boy, and I was looking online to how to get it straight because I always have to try to go slowly to line it up. So I got a laser for my blade. The only thing about the laser though is maybe you should get them on both sides if they're thin enough, because now my laser, it shines on one side of the blade, so you kind of have to line it up, and depending on which side you're cutting from or which angle, if you follow that laser directly, you can make the wrong cut by the kerf of the saw blade. So it's just another thing to learn, but it is another tool that has been helping me tighten down these precision cuts. Okay, so now another important part of trim work is this thing called, I'm pretty sure it's called coping. It's where you have to cut the pieces to fit together this way so that you don't show all of those different notches in a big gap. So you have to follow that profile. The way I do that, I just line these bad boys up, make it a perfect 90. This has been working pretty well for me. Line it up as nice and pretty as I can. Then I give myself a trace. And then we go into our router table and we knock off as much as we can, and we get it pretty close. And another good thing about this router table is the fence does give you a lot of control. All right, so the machine side of coping isn't as much fun because it's rattly around and it's scary, but, and you could, it's not scary like, oh, I'm gonna die. It's scary like, oh, I'm gonna botch my piece of work. But the fun part is now you grab your files and you tighten up those little corners and you make everything fit real nice and pretty. Like, probably not that important, but it's important to me. All right, I'm cutted, got my angles, got my coping, everything is ready. Now we're ready to get my gun out and pew pew, blast it up. All right, boys, that's the trim. I think it looks real good. The doors are looking beautiful, but now I have to take those off and I got to drill my hinges so they don't fall. I've dropped those doors on the floor about 9 billion times, lining them up to check everything. So now it's holes time. Kristen got me this awesome jig to cut these holes. This thing makes it easy breezy, beautiful. I had this crazy holes that I had to drill in Puerto Rico when I was rebuilding the boat cabinets that I had to like stand on, and I made it. I did make it work, but those holes came out with plenty to be desired. And I think these should come out a heck of a lot better. And then your hinge pops in there beautifully. And the jig even has these two little holes to line up your screw holes, make some pilot holes. And another bonus, it gives you these beautiful chips that you can give to your nephew to put in his snake cages. Alright, got my holes drilled. Mercifully, I did have a bit of a issue here, and I'm hoping that some of my Craig jig extraordinaires can help me out. When I'm drilling them out, I get these really thick particles here that get kind of stuck in there, and then I can't follow my guideline to get it out of there. And you know, it takes me, they get pretty stuck in there. It's hard to get them out. So the way that I tried to mitigate that was I tried to pull my drill up and down as I was going, but what happened once was it walked a little bit one time and marred up a little bit of the wood. Hopefully I can hide it under the hinge. If not, Kristen will cuss me out about it. But how do you keep that from happening? Does anybody know? Maybe a vacuum situation, maybe a fan, I don't know. But let me know if you know. Okay, hinges are on. We're looking beautiful. Let's go attach them doors. Okay, this is awesome. I'm hyped. I got my doors in. They're opening. They're soft closing. I mean, look at that. Buttered perfection. I'm hyped about it. I'm relatively sure that I'm going to be able to make cabinets now, which was a big relief because I have a million to make. Kristen has some big plans for her butler pantry. So this was a great shot to work. I have some sanding, some finish work to do, and then some priming. So I'm gonna keep the train rolling. The baby's being a beautiful angel today. The girls are having a good time kicking it in the bedroom. So I'm gonna do my job, keep it rolling as well. And we should be catching up here together pretty shortly because I do need Kristen's help. She's the final slayer of details and aesthetics. Your moon's back out.
Okay, ready?
Yep.
All right, guys, the cabinet is looking so good. I can't even believe it. The details are looking so crisp. The spacing between the doors, the crown molding. Matt put in extra work. Really, I'm really surprised by him, to be honest, because details really aren't his thing. If you guys have been watching this channel, I think you would know. I mean, how many people remember Matt's back step on the boat? The very first one. Some of you have to remember. He doesn't really pay attention to details. So when I saw him pulling out the chisels, I told him he didn't have to do that. And he went and he started chiseling and he got that crispy, smooth piece. So we might be here till 2033.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. I've turned a leaf. Back in the day when I built the step on the back of the boat, I was an adventurer. I was in a much different mind frame. Everything was very practical to get me to the next adventure of my life. I've since become a content creator and a creator in general. And when you put your stuff out to the world, you're constantly scrutinized. So not only do I have a nagging wife telling me everything I do is wrong, I also have 100,000 loyal fans that tell me everything I do is wrong.
Number one, I don't nag. And number two, I didn't tell you had to do it.
Yeah, but if I don't do it,
Trust me, I've been very kind.
52395 would say, "Oh my God, didn't even do the cupping. Oh my God, didn't even sit in mission." Listen, I got to deal with these experts out there, so I got a lot of homies cheering me on too. But you got to be perfect. When you put it on the internet, you got to be perfect, and you almost got to lie. That's one thing we don't do here. We at least show it when it happens, but I'm about to start just making it fake, making the fake content, make it look perfect, just so I can act like I'm that dude to the rest of the world. But either way,
don't listen. Now. Yeah, don't listen to anything he says. None of that's true. So next week we are going to get into painting, priming, painting, hardware. It's coming together. It's probably going to be pretty close to the last video, the mudroom. I think it might all come together on the next video.
Hope so.
So make sure you hit subscribe, like, comment down below. Check out our Patreon if you want to see real-time updates, and we'll see you guys next week. Bye.